Hello YouTube and welcome to episodes 7 and 8 in the Symphogear G reaction series. Hello everybody, hope you're doing well, ready for more Symphogear goodness today. Just a couple housekeeping things right off the bat. On Discord right now there's a poll, I'll put the poll here in editing. These are the shows you can vote for that'll be in the empty slot that's on the channel at the moment, so if you feel passionately about any of these shows, please vote. At the moment, the poll is extremely close. So hop in there, see what you like, see if you can change the outcome of what's shown on the channel. Either way, I got my comments summary here. I've kind of gone a little bit insane and written a lot of stuff in the intro today, so it could be a little bit long, but we'll see how we go. So the first point that I've written down here is that the FIS is kind of in shambles at this point, maybe starting out initially with some good intentions, but maybe being moved in another direction by a different party, we don't know. Their ideal solution for what's going to happen is maybe not going to occur, putting it politely. I have memories, right, of the key visual for this season. I'll put it up here. There's still a character that we haven't seen yet. I just want to know what that's about. We'll see. So Bonnie mainly threw up that point. Next point that I've written down is that Shirabe and Kiriko were singing Orbital Beat, which was the Zweiwing song, both as kind of a provocation for the kind of Hibiki group to take note of them and say, it's really bratty. It's like, we're going to steal your song and perform it better. You know what I mean? It's to get them to fight, to steal the relics. Yeah, makes sense. But it also kind of, outside of the context of that scene, lets us know that they're at least fans of Zweiwing. It's also in kind of a meta sense the audition song for Kirika and Shirabe's VAs, and then that was added to the end product of the show as a result, which is pretty cool. You can maybe draw some inferences as well where, Kirika's singing Kanade's parts and Shirabe's singing Tsubasa's parts, so is there some character stuff there that we need to dive into? They're definitely personality similar if we have our opposite attract couples there. They're definitely the opposites of each other for sure. Those points there were kind of conglomerated by Bonnie, Bamps, and Flare Knight. I wanted to add context to my comments. I don't hate Ver. I don't hate Ver, right? I hate Ver. It's different. You know what I mean? I love to hate him. There's a difference, I believe. So when he's vamping it up and being really overdramatic and turning into a meme, I think it's glorious. I love to hate him. It's great. I am a Ver enjoyer. I just like to see him in pain. That's what I enjoy. I guess that's a direct response to comments by Bonnie, Tomcat, Ayakunya, and Kosoktha. I guess I'm still not over the pacing at this point, which Bamps and Kosoktha kind of bring up as well, that, hey, yeah, it's still going really fast, and I agree. I guess this is talking to kind of Flare Knight's festival comment as well, where we didn't spend much time at the school festival, and that kind of disappointed me. Thinking about it with Symphogear pacing, we're never going to do something that's slice of lifey. It's pedal to the metal, where we have more important things to do. As he says, like the moon's gonna fall out of the sky. It's more important than a maid cafe, I guess. Again, I guess that's just still adjusting to the pacing. Another point here is that Hibiki is a hypocrite, this kind of idea of Hibiki's, I guess, arc this season. One person's hero is another person's villain. There's two sides to every story. It was easy in Season 1, as I said before, when it was Fine, right? If we're against Fine, that's very easy to justify from a narrative perspective because Fine's evil, like pretty clearly. Again, some redeeming qualities here and there, and a point I'll talk about later with her as well. But with this new villainous group, it's very hard to justify going directly against them when, hey, they're trying to save the moon from falling out of the sky, and also, again, in a meta sense, they're likable, they're protagonistic. I've been through this, right? It's a way more layered. It's not just good versus evil. It's kind of good versus kind of good. It's more interesting, right? I get the feeling that the, I guess, Team FIS, you would call them, are doing things with good intentions that will probably end up poorly. We have to ask that question: is it truly possible to help and save everyone all at once, or does there need to be some form of compromise there? Is Hibiki's, I guess, naive and hypocritical worldview applicable to all situations? So Bamps brought up that point as well. Bamps also brings up that Hibiki's songs have a lot of call and response, which is thematically relevant to Hibiki. A lot of holding hands, united voice, saving everybody. Again, she is going to do something, and then everybody's going to respond in turn with some amount of affection and love. Spreading out love, receiving love, that kind of thing. I like it. This was a big point in the comments as well. There's more context kind of around the concert from episode 1 and why that affected Hibiki so bad. So this is where I get a little bit critical again. Apparently there is some stuff that was outside of the show's context. There was some, I guess, post-season materials that you could read that added this stuff in. So many people died in the concert, we know that. 12,000 people were killed, but only a third of which were by the noise. And the government paid out those that survived, right? So clearly, 2/3 of the people died by trampling. Therefore, if Hibiki survived, it can be implied that she survived at the expense of somebody else, and then, taxpayer money being paid out to people, people start talking, opinions get formed, those opinions spiral, people suck. Again, it makes sense. I just wish that was in the show, but again, pacing, we got to keep it moving. Because I guess if I wasn't doing this channel, I just wouldn't know that, because I wouldn't go out and seek that information, and then that would just be a big question mark for me. It's like, why are they blaming her for surviving essentially a terrorist attack? These thoughts were brought up by Bamps, Kosogtha, and Scarshadow. Bamps also brings up another point, which is kind of a response to something that I said in the episode itself. Why don't they just tell Hibiki that she has, I guess, relic cancer, we're calling it, something to that effect? And yeah, there's the theme of the curse of confusion. Through the confusion and the chaos, we have to exist as a one. We have to unite and do all these other fun things, all these Symphogear themey things, right? So of course, in halfway through a season, we're not going to reveal this information because, hey, we can't communicate with each other. Another one of Symphogear's biggest themes. So yeah, it makes sense. I like this comment from Shinsasu, kind of implying that the city from season 1 may still have some people living in it. I guess, like, there's that big mound of ground, I guess you would call it, like soil on top of the city. Like, that wouldn't be livable, all that kind of arid, almost rock face stuff. But the city down below, that's still, very livable. I think this works thematically. Hibiki was worried that, hey, maybe I destroyed this whole city and my efforts were in vain despite what I did. Could have some self-doubt there. But again, people are still living there. The people that are living there right now, implied to be the lady from Flower, from Flare Knight's comment as well, they're making it work. And they're very thankful to Hibiki that they still have a roof over their head. I like the little Lilo and Stitch reference in the comment. It's a little broken, but still good. Yeah, still good. And yeah, I think that thematically works for Symphogear as well. Shoutouts to Lilo and Stitch, by the way, that movie's great. Seraph Armoros says that getting the arm back, yeah, that's cool from the relic powers, but also having this weird relic disease now is really holding her back. So it's like, yay, she got the arm back. Oh, she's also in a way worse state than we thought. So again, stuff to watch going forward. I'm sure that's going to be a big part of the season going ahead. Seraph Armoros also added some context about Ver and Mom, kind of implying that they're leading partners in FIS. And they both need each other for their different expertise on stuff, so they're kind of a partnership in a way. I wonder who's truly in charge in all of it, with Ver going kind of insane and Mom's kind of health taking a turn for the worst. I guess we'll say. Virginia had an interesting comment here. Kind of Fine is quoted in each of the Superb songs, which I think I kind of interpreted before. But I guess I never realized that Fine technically made Symphogears. That's crazy, right? It's kind of the main villain made the main power that the heroes are using going forward. I guess didn't account for all the different ways they could be used and why they were used and all these other things, right? Was just kind of experimenting and this is what happened. It was a kind of a beautiful mistake in that way. I don't know, weird one thematically. I don't think Fine can be implied to be all bad. We'll say. She's definitely got her sympathetic points. Kosogtha had a really long, interesting comment that went into a lot of different things, but I kind of zeroed in on this point. Each Superb song has unique properties and needs to be used in a certain way. So take Amino Habakiri for instance. It's a sword. You strike truly, you strike in one spot, but when kind of Tsubasa uses the Superb song for it as kind of an AoE attack, it backfires. So maybe there's something in using Superb songs the same way the weapon was intended. Because when Chris uses hers and it's an all-out attack, she still survives because her whole thing is all-out attacks. And Bamps and Kosogtha with this last little point, the episode was called Bloodbath Serenade. Serena, Serenade, Bloodbath. It makes sense. And righty, I've got a short little recap here. I say short, so I've been writing these recaps a little bit differently, just kind of dot pointy, and this is the longest one that I've done in this format, which just shows how much stuff happens in 2 episodes of Symphogear. So there's the school festival contest into Kirabe, I'm calling them. That's kind of their couple name that I'm using. At the same time that that's happening, there's the fight at the docks with the Spec Ops guys and Ver and that whole situation. Ver ends up going crazy and killing some kids, and then Maria starts freaking out. And as Kirabe are performing, Mum contacts both of them to come back. They also challenge Hibiki and Ko to a duel right at the end of this scene as well. We learned that Maria and Hibiki's waveforms match, which can have some implications for the future. We get Genjiro and Ko questioning the presence of the US in Japan and why they're against FIS and why there's that distinction there. We get the flashback with Maria and Serena, and we see Serena's sacrifice and how that affected everything. And yeah, it's practically the first scene of the season in color. Maria then reunites with Shirabe and Kirika. They're all scolded for not being ruthless enough, practically. Then Ver suggests using the duel as a way to get Hibiki and Ko to one spot. Ver and Niflheim intercept Hibiki and Ko when they arrive at the location. They reveal the moon stuff. The moon's going to fall out of the sky and hit the earth and kill everybody, and certain parties are hiding this information, and FIS wants to stop that. Chris and Tsubasa are then stuck in wires, and Hibiki second-guesses herself and gets her arm bit off. Maria and Ko are watching this from the sidelines and start to second-guess what they're doing in all of this. If what they're doing is right, challenges their moral code in that way. Hibiki then goes into berserk mode, implied as a survival technique, then kills Niflheim and scares Ver and grows her arm back. So Ver's off running, Niflheim's dead, for all intents and purposes, but we'll say. This is combined with Mom's health taking a turn for the worse, and we need Ver back, but he's run off, so we send Shirabe and Kirika after Ver. Maria stays behind to kind of take care of Mom. Hibiki is also in hospital at this time, and it's revealed that she has relic cancer. Again, I don't know what we're calling it, but the relic has fused with her body even more than normal, to a point where it might not be able to be removed. So they can't let Hibiki transform anymore because it's just going to spread out said disease even more, so Tsubasa is mean to Hibiki and make sure that she feels like she isn't wanted. We then roll into Hibiki's little flashback, I guess you would call it as well, kind of her processing this grief from between season 1 concert and the rest of it when she gets Elydian, all this stuff with the bullies and that. Ver then finds his little relic. Hibiki is asked out by Miku. They go off to go eat some food. I think it's okonomiyaki again. Ver starts attacking randos on the street, and then Hibiki has to jump in and save some people. Hibiki punches a noise without transforming and doesn't get affected by what happens with her, and then transforms and then yells that I am Symphogear or something. She's ready for battle, basically. And that's where we jump off into episode 7 today. So some predictions. I think everything is converging right now on Ver. We have Shirabe and Kirika looking for Ver. We have Hibiki fighting Ver right now, fighting Ver and the noise, and I think he's still holding his little relic there, his little Niflheim. I would imagine that Tsubasa and Chris get word of what Hibiki's doing and try to stop her, and then, yeah, so all our characters converging on this one scene. We'll probably start with a fight. That's what you would think. Hibiki's condition will worsen again. I don't know what this means. I don't know if this means she'll get weaker. I don't know if this means she'll get stronger, but it's, clearly a ticking time on the season. Miku is in the scene again. Maybe she gets threatened. Maybe, she's used as somewhat of a damsel in distress type character there. Ver senses weakness in that area. Something like that. I think this is a larger scale one for the season as a whole, but I would believe that Mom will die and that will be a tragedy and send Maria down a darker path. I imagine that's something that'll happen. We need Hibiki's ideals to be challenged by something again as we move on. So is she actually on the good side? Is she actually on the bad side? Maybe she has some negative influence on saving Mom. Maybe that informs some stuff. Maybe there's a similarity between Maria and Hibiki in that way. We'll see. Just before I jump into episode 7 today, just my chill stuff. If you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I could do to improve my presentation, comment below. I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you'd like me to follow you back. And the Discord, join the Discord, vote in polls on the Discord, talk about Symphogear on the Discord, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, gonna jump into episode 7 right now. Rightio, got the episode up here ready to go. Let me pop that up on screen. 23 minutes and 42 seconds on this one, so sync up accordingly. As always, using the D-Truck subs and picture-in-picture down in the description. And yeah, just going to jump right in with the 3, 2, 1. Radio. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Oh yeah, she also had like a scab that had that happen to it. Yeah, she's in a bad way. Oh, the music. I love the choir. It will kill her before too long. Yeah, so I need to be mean and make sure she doesn't fight. Oh yeah, this scene was goofy as. Yeah, I think the implication is those people were being sent after Ver. I love how scared he gets too. Ready, here's that punch. See, normally you would, like, become dust. But she didn't. And then into the opening. Also saw that video on Discord where I think it's Ver at the concert or something, just like hamming it up. Or Ver's VA, obviously the fictional character isn't there. But it was great, I loved it. I've been having some problems lately with. I think you see the fan back there. It's kind of hitting the mic a little bit and creating a annoying noise. So hopefully I've turned it away and should be okay. But as a result, it may be really hot. So if I'm sweating, it is what it is. I live in a very hot country. I didn't know if you know. Australia, pretty hot. So not really loving it at the moment. Right in the middle of summer. So it is what it is. I'm lucky that the walls are the way they are. They aren't, you know, they're like kind of concretey. Feels like I'm in a prison cell, actually. Either way, it doesn't let the sun in a lot, which has its advantages and disadvantages. Maria has kind of been absent from combat for a while. I wonder if that's going to continue. I know that she's not supposed to transform, but I would imagine that we would start to do that nowish. Okay. Yeah, okay, everyone converging. What I said. Capture him. I doubt that's going to work. Gungnir? Yell it out. Nah, she transformed. To you, soon unable to be yourself. Ooh, can imply some stuff about Hibiki. Yeah, she definitely punched this dude. Yeah. Is she gonna yell the line again? I hope so. Based. I don't think that's good. Oh shit. That's really bad. You're burning up. Oh, her song's starting again. I love this this kind of instrument. It sounds like a bagpipe. Or bagpipes, I should say. A set of bagpipes. Three, two, one, zero. These different lyrics. Of Oh god. So Ver's dead. Okay, the chorus is at least the same. Bro, Hibiki's like evil. The unstoppable force. Yeah, these are different lyrics, I believe. I'd need to go back and check. Did she just, like, stabilize herself for a punch? No, she, like, boosted forward. Yeah, there she is. I thought you guys would be here. It can also be used as a shield. Totally platonic shoulder holding. Yeah, we hate heels. Oh, yeah, it's like the Wonder Woman copter. Why are you here, Mum? You should be resting. Oh yeah, great point. Yeah, we need to steal the dock. But Hibiki's going like super mode, so I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. Okay, now what? Uh, I guess the relic did that for you. Excuse me? What have you got in your hand? What did you do? Oh, Link a drug. Why? Okay, so he like he steroided them up, but also it's bad. Like we saw, Kanade obviously like not loving having the drug, so it's bad for you. They're gonna start to struggle. Yeah, no one must oppose me. I'm not sure that's how it works, but sure. Okay, that must be her name. Okay. Where's Tsubasa? I would imagine yes. They're coming. Hell yeah. What's going to happen to Hibiki? She's seemingly volatile at the moment, so I'd imagine huge power and then moments of reflection. So everyone's like powered up right now. Don't do that. I can believe that, but it's still going to be bad. I hate that face. Why listen to this evil man? I guess he's the only one that can save Mom. Miku's still off to the side, huh? They just ran off. Itaba gang just ran. And then Miku's like, oh, I guess I'll leave too. Oh, it's like a duet superb song. Are they gonna hold hands? They should hold hands like the Triburst. Or the end of season 1, either way. Is that what Kanade was doing? A Zababa. Okay. An endless assault. Very soul. Yeah, it sounds like a one-hit kill from the way you describe it. Oh, Hibiki's going in too. Okay. We'll just sacrifice it ourselves. Okay. What is happening? Did she just suck up their energy? Oh, let's that Pokemon sound effect. What was that? Yeah, that's not Hibiki. Hibiki doesn't leech. What is happening to you? This isn't like her. Bro, evil Hibiki. Bad end. I guess it's leeching for the right reasons? Maybe? Unless she's aiming it at them? Yep. Big rainbow tornado fist. Rainbow tornado fist, if I can speak. I'm not sure it's a good idea to go in there right now. Oh, this is going to be tragic. Well, we're going to hate this. We're really halfway through. This show's insane. Yeah, again, like, we still don't have, like, medical attention for you. You clearly have something wrong with you. Bro, Hibiki's still gassed up full of energy, though. Ichival. Yes, ma'am. Alright, where's the doc? Oh, there he is. Alright, bye. Well, that shot's kind of cool. That was actually kind of sick. Yeah, she ate up all the energy. But what is going to happen to Hibiki now? Well, she didn't want you guys to die, obviously. But also it prevented damage to herself as well. Oh. Yeah, that's bad. I'm I'm turning into a rock. It'll sear the flesh from your bones. Yeah? Really? Fair enough. If that's what you reckon. Oh, I thought she was singing a superb song. Never mind. Is she turned into like a bike form? Yeah, kinda. That's fun. I like that. My giant bike sword. Is that a tank of water? Yeah, okay. Bike sword form is cool. Oh, look at all the steam emerging from the mist. I don't know what you guys were doing. You were off doing something else, I guess. Yeah, kinda. Oh, I love this background track. One of my favorites for sure. Yeah, this one hits. How old is she? Alright, Mom's okay for the meantime. That's good. But it was for the greater good, you said, right? Yeah, who's going to stop the moon from crashing into the Earth then? I can think of one person that seems very all-powerful. That can channel rainbow beams into the sky. Yeah, she's turning it like a rock person. Oh, Ogawa's back. It's been a while since I've seen Ogawa as well. We'll see. We'll see. Clearly something has to give. Yes? So what is this? Oh, okay. I guess it's fine then? I have forgotten. That is ringing bells, but I don't know why. Not all of her memories have recovered yet. That's a bit weird. Not all of Fine's memories? Okay, so we are now activating the frontier. That is what the frontier is. Okay. Whoever's saying, if you're saying stuff like this, don't be on his side. Look at this guy. Okay. I thought you had kind of a little, like, why did I make these gentle girls do this? I thought that's what you said. Oh well. Guess we're still making these gentle girls do this. Good old globalization, huh? How's Hibiki doing? What, Miku to know? Yeah. Yeah, she's in a bad way. It's not good. Oh, Chris hates it. She'll no longer be herself. Hmm. Hmm. Her best friend. You reckon? Yeah, go be a friend. Keep her grounded. Interesting. Alright, we're at D Store. D Store Megastore. What'd you guys buy? Some food and stuff? Yeah, we don't like doing that when we go shopping. Okay, so they can't fight while they're still linked up. Yeah. How so? We never take a break. Okay. So you're going to go fight now. Allow me to. Why'd we go into a construction site? Or like a abandoned building? When I was at the facility. I guess they're having fun just being out and about. Potential vessels of Fine's soul? So they knew this would happen. Yeah. Sucks to be her. Yeah, she's clearly not doing okay. I don't agree. What? She just headbutted that shit. We need a hero? Yeah. Okay. But who's Fine then? Okay. But what does this mean? Oh. Oh. That seems like a newish power. Oh. Well, that's a revelation, I think. If I'm thinking what I'm thinking is correct, right? Like, Fine hadn't awoken until that very moment, I believe. Because Fine does the. At least Ryoko did, like, the hand stuff, like, with the force fields and that. And from memory, Fine did as well in the fight, but I forget. Well, lots of different stuff going on now. Is there something in Maria thinking that Fine was inside her and channeling all these negative stuff, and that's just really how a human is? Or am I wrong in that regard? We will see. We'll see in episode 8. I really like the idea of Miku as, like, thematically being the grounding mechanism for Hibiki back to her human side. Because she gets so much of who she is from her relations with Miku. Not gonna lie, Shirabe headbutting that steel beam is pretty funny. And Verse seems like he's cooking. He seems like he knows more than he's letting on right now as well. Rightio, time to jump into a little bit of analysis on episode 7 of Symphogear G. So yeah, as I've said before, broken record type stuff, but the pacing is nuts. It's kind of crazy. Like, we are presented with a whole new series of problems at the end of each episode that are sometimes brushed by and sometimes just roll into other problems. You know what I mean? I'm talking like end of episode 5. Hibiki doesn't have an arm, and then she grows back an arm and has an even bigger problem. And then, end of the other episode, Hibiki looks like she's going to be in some trouble. And, well, she is in some trouble, but that's not the climax of this episode. That's to do with the evil team in the presence of Fine. You know what I mean? It's just one thing after another, huh? This is kind of crazy. But yeah, I guess you would classify this episode into two halves again. Kind of our fight scene there, kind of involving Hibiki getting too bright, too kind of warm and too powerful, right? Think about her whole thing with warmth, right? Why is Miku warm and that kind of thing? Getting too hot, burning to the touch. You can't hold hands if you burn into the touch. The whole thing about leeching power. She's not holding hands to channel power through them all together into the sky to kind of do something for good, right? To do something with a united objective. She is taking it all upon herself. Like, she needs to share that load. That's what she needs to do. Ver's still crazy. I wish somebody would just, like, put like a 9mm pistol in his head and just pull the trigger. I don't know. Ver's glorious in all the worst ways. Mom's health is fluctuating so much it's kind of insane. Like, at one point she's like on her deathbed, like crazy, like going to die soon, and then next point she gets like some assistance from Ver, then she's fine. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say fine, she's still in a wheelchair, but like better than she was. She improved dramatically. We have Chris kind of being relegated really to a very side character at this point. I guess she had the stuff earlier with her concert thing, and that's kind of Chris's part for the season so far. But she's really just questioning Tsubasa and her decisions so far in this episode. Protecting Miku, that was nice. Tsubasa turned into like a motorcycle sword person, which I thought was kind of sick, and is clearly feeling guilty for not protecting Hibiki as much. Hibiki that's superpowered, Hibiki that's using Gungnir, channeling maybe some Kanade baggage into that, for sure. Genjiro's been kind of absent this season as well, I'd say. Not really a major player in the same way that he was in Season 1. I guess we have these villain characters to concern our screen time with, I guess you would say. And yeah, that last kind of scene there, we had Shirabe and Kirika getting some shopping, going off and sitting at a random abandoned construction site place, still clearly feeling the effects of the Linka drug on themselves. Kirika protecting Shirabe as Shirabe was worse for wear there, and awakening some kind of power, heavily implied to be Fine's power from the dialogue and Ver looking sus and all sorts of other stuff. And yeah, I'm going to get the episode up here and go through it another time and see what I have to say and that kind of thing. Particular shoutouts to the background music this episode. I thought it was quite good. That particular track in the middle that I noted is one of my favorites. I love it whenever it plays. Very relaxing. Feels like some story revelations in a long kind of Japanese story-based game are happening, right? It's kind of like that. Like, here's my tragic backstory, and then like you read out that as that music's playing. That's kind of the feel I get from it. Either way, the episode, pause when I see some stuff that's cool. We get some small little flashbacky stuff to last episode, just kind of keeping me up to speed with all the goings on and that kind of thing. We see that Hibiki has powered up and is sending a reading, I guess, through to the disaster squad here. Genjiro gives the order, send in Tsubasa and Chris, who kind of arrive at the very end to end the conflict, essentially. Yeah, they get a very large reading distinct from the noise that is clearly Hibiki. Very large reading, very powerful reading, kind of the waveform expanding beyond the borders of even where it should be. To You, Soon Unable to Be Yourself is a very interesting title now with the ending. I thought it was mostly related to Hibiki, who is implied to not be herself after going through this transformation that's currently taking place. She'll be more relic than human. She'll lose that part of herself that was so committed to saving people, to helping out, and that kind of thing. Again, I'm seeing it a little bit in the all for one, one for all dichotomy, I guess you would say. But yeah, at the end of the episode, somebody may activate their powers and have been strengthening the Fine inside them all along. This stuff here is interesting to me because, to my knowledge, these are different shots than were used at the end of last episode. Like for these lines here, I remember this was a closer up. This was more of a level shot, which is weird. It's like reanimating something we've already seen, which I've talked about a lot in Chainsaw Man, if you were watching that series as well. You can see it in her character design at the moment a little bit. She's clearly kind of incandescent. She's generating her own light. She's glowing, but clearly not in a healthy way. It's a very weird reference, but it reminds me of kind of the third generation Pokemon games when you get towards the end of that little story there, and maybe the sunlight's beaming down really bright. It's clearly bad sunlight. It's not healthy sunlight. Ver's a deranged human, and I still don't like him, but again, we've been through my complicated feelings. I like watching him squirm, though. It's good. Whenever he's happy, I'm unhappy. Whenever he's unhappy, I'm happy. We're very opposites in that regard. Correct me if I'm wrong, these seem like different lyrics to the same song. So clearly she's feeling different right now than she normally does. I want to go back, actually, and compare and contrast, but I don't know if I have the time. I probably don't. But yeah, I imagine these are different lyrics. I'll maybe do some in editing where I go back and have a look, and I'll confirm if it is yes or no. So be prepared for maybe a text box here that says some stuff. I want to change this world so it won't need heroes to save it. At the very start she says, I don't want to be a hero. I hold a dream within my heart. I reject fate and follow my own path. They're weird lyrics. They can be interpreted really poorly or really good. Like, this could be a good thing. I don't accept what is happening right now and am instead going to forge my own path and make a method to victory that is currently unavailable. I guess you'd characterize it with immense motivation and ego, which can also be villainous. We hit that same chorus again, though. I believe it's Hibike, Hibike, and then they do like a bit of a little reprise after that. Don't worry, I'll be fine. It doesn't hurt at all. Don't sweat the tears, basically, which is Cap. She's coping right now. I will stay here in this warmth, even if I wither. Very relevant. Again, I'm correct me if I'm wrong. Miku's the sunlight, she's the flower. I think that's how the little name convention goes. And become the seed that grows for the future, blooming proudly into song. But then all these references to heat, to burning away, to we saw the leaf before kind of get burnt and kind of turn to ash. We see the rocks coming out of her chest, almost like some kind of geothermal experiment happening in there. It's very much not conducive to this whole plant metaphor we have going on. Again, talks to the conflicted nature within her right now, right? Where, hey, I'm singing, I'm feeling one thing, but my body just isn't going to cope with that. And she's going to absolutely wreck Ver's shit, but gets pulled up by one of Shirabe's little blades here. I keep thinking I called them the wrong names. I keep switching the names. I don't know, she seems like a Kirika to me. I don't know why. But yeah, that's Shirabe with the whole ear situation going on. Shul Shigana, and then the other relic that Kirika has as well. Again, two weapons of the same kind of hero from Legend, I guess you would say. Oh, this is going to be tragic now. I just realized what's going to happen. We're going to get our little corruption story here with Kirika, and then Shirabe, the emotionally inert one, is going to have to display some emotional connection. Oh, that's going to be heartbreaking. That's when you get the most use out of your kind of Kudere-esque characters, when they actually do end up showing the emotional side. Right, again, just withholding something, then showing it becomes powerful. Yeah, that's a huge prediction going forward. You're going to need to save you. It's going to be tragic. Mom is seemingly in a better place for now until she coughs up blood again, and then she's in a worse place, and then she gets saved, and then she's better again. I mean, clearly not long for this world, right? I guess, how does the revelation at the end of the episode affect Maria? That's another question, right? So she's been sitting idly by, letting these things happen under the pretense that if she does act, she will unleash some horror, right? Now that she's learned that there was never such a risk, surely she feels guilty for all the things that she could have stopped, right? But there's also clearly no barrier between her going all out now, and she's a very good fighter, so this should work? I don't know. Hibiki's breathing heavily here before kind of bending over in pain. There's a word for bending over in pain that I'm forgetting. Keeling over, I guess? Clearly the relic's starting to take its effects out on Hibiki. Again, her condition fluctuating much like Mom's. That's a little bit funny. And then the most suspect person that I've ever seen put on screen gets these two green goo guns and goes bang. It is full of the linker drug and makes both Kirika and Shirabe go a little bit berserk. It clearly implants them with a lot of extra power that they need to push out of themselves, I guess you would say. I've never used performance-enhancing drugs, I know, surprising, what a shock. But I imagine once you use them, you need to expand that energy that you've put into yourself, otherwise you won't be able to cope. So I'm imagining it's something similar to that. But yeah, just on the creepometer, there is creeping higher on that scale. Who just like injects some shit into like high school girls, or not even high school girls. Weirdo. Put him on the weird list. His justification is that they need higher energy to even compete against Hibiki, but they didn't account for Hibiki's little leech maneuver. Can we talk about, now that Kirika got kind of zhuzhed with the drug, maybe that's speeding along some kind of Fine process as well? We'll say. Nastasja? How does he say it in the video itself? Nastasja. Yeah, clearly a foreign name. But that's Mom, right? That's her real name. I think I'm going to stick to Mom. It's a little bit easier. So Ver is putting the onus on both Kirika and Shirabe to use this power to take out Hibiki, to let Ver go up and save Mom. Their love for Mom is being kind of hijacked in that way. Skewed for an eviler purpose. Tsubasa and Chris are still rushing towards the scene. Tachibana, don't you dare rush ahead. Don't you do anything brash. Heed my words of warning earlier. Kind of like that vibe. Let's do it, Kiri. We have to bring him back to Mum no matter what. So clearly they've internalized what Ver is saying, and they are willing to put everything on the line to accomplish this goal. They must sing their superb songs, something that Ver is really keen for them to do. Studies have shown that the higher the sync rate, the less the recoil incurred. But I would not trust anything this evil man is saying. I just wouldn't. This is a great shot here of Ver, just an absolutely deranged type person, type operator. Yeah, thinking back to episode 1, he definitely didn't reveal his psychotic tendencies very early, no. Miku, Ataba, and Ko were clearly relegated to the side again, not involved in this battle the way we thought, until Miku has a change of heart later on and tries to approach Hibiki. So now we can read Miku not being in the season as much, kind of as it has a point, right? It has a thematic purpose. So Hibiki didn't have that person to rely on, that person to fall back on, right? That support network. And that is why she succumbed to this, or one of the main reasons why it worsened. She needs someone to keep her herself, to keep her grounded, right? And that's Miku. Both thematically and literally in the story. So now I imagine we will see the return of Miku as a more central character to the narrative. So again, I've talked about this during the episode itself, but you can interpret this in two ways, one good, one bad. You can interpret it as Hibiki being selfless and stealing said power and forcing it upward into the sky as a kind of protection of Kirika and Shirabe. As, hey, you guys aren't bad people, we should just, talk and hold hands and get along. I don't want you guys to die here trying to kill me. I'm going to take this burden from you. Or you could interpret it like, hey, the relic in me, the bad side of me, doesn't want to die. I want to continue to live so I can grow more powerful and not become myself and do whatever Gungni is going to do, right? And I'm going to steal this power so that you can't hurt me. And I like there's two different interpretations you can take. I like our little duet superb song as well. The other time we saw it was in episode 1. Again, clearly holding hands, all on the same page, all working for a united goal, all pushing it together like that. These two clearly, essentially coerced into doing it, right? I wouldn't imagine this would end well for these two if they finished singing said song. Yeah, okay. So here we see Hibiki saying that, hey, this will eat away at your life force. So she leeches it into herself. Weird. We also get a weird, just flash screen of Mum saying, I've driven these girls to do even this. And then we have a little section later where she's like, how did I turn these gentle girls into this? How could I do this? Blah, 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 blah. But then she seems still ready and able to execute the plan that she wanted to do from the start. Strange. I don't know what Mum's deal is. Is she good? Is she bad? Is she somewhere in between? I don't know right now. Clearly the three girls care about her a lot, though. I'm guessing the goddess Zababa is the person that wields the two weapons of Kirika and Shirabe. Kind of their relics. Igalima and Shul Shibaba. Shul Shigana. I apologize. But they essentially set up this system of attacks where one does an attack that keeps them in place, and then one does a one-hit kill move that no matter if it hits, it'll murder you. So if Hibiki didn't do this and they executed the move, somebody would die. It's nice that we have this in the locker in the back in case we want to really kill the hell out of someone later on. We have this one-hit kill maneuver that has been set up as something that may be crucial. But again, it's a team attack, with one of which potentially not being themselves in the future. We'll have to keep an eye on it. But now, before they can do anything, Hibiki hits him with the set harmonics. And we see this kind of leeching of energy through this weird blur on the background. It actually looks pretty cool. Yeah, again, as I've said, Hibiki doesn't leech. This black energy coming in, right? These crystals, I guess rocks, forming on the heart, right? Clearly not natural. Clearly not something that she wants to continue to occur. Hibiki again with the rainbow tornado punch. It's pretty cool. I'm an enjoyer of it. Even if in this kind of mode right now, it is extremely dangerous to her health. Miku sees this tornado and thinks, hey, this is actually really bad, so I should go actually have a look. I don't want Hibiki to leave me again. kind of like she did at the end of Season 1. So Hibiki has the power to kind of bend and turn superb songs and that kind of thing. That's part of her thing that we saw in episode 1, was it? Episode 2 with the tornado. Channeling different superb songs. Mom coughs up some blood again. It is what it is. She's doing it a lot now. So again, it changes from, hey, we need to take down Hibiki or incapacitate Hibiki or do any of these other things, to, hey, we need to get Dr. Ver out of here. So Hibiki's left to simmer down below. As, yeah, this shot's actually pretty cool. They kind of fly away here. Yeah, kind of the 2D on the 3D. Looks pretty good. I like, they're still looking down. Again, it's a weird one. It's almost like a pop-up book. Their bodies didn't kind of suffer any damage at all, despite the use of the drug. So clearly Hibiki's taken a lot of that in, but later we see Shirabe is struggling with said drug before Kirika does the beam thing. We pan back down to Hibiki, and yeah, this is not good. It was implied before when she had the small scab there that it wasn't good, but now she's got many a rock. She's turning into a rock person, almost like old mate from the Fantastic Four. Miku realizes how hot it is and is going to go touch. I like the little sound effects kind of indicating the heat as well, before Chris jumps in the way here. Don't touch her, you'll sear the skin from your bones, or flesh from your bones. Initially, I thought Tsubasa was singing a superb song, and I'm like, don't do that. But it turns out she's just singing a little transformation song where she's going to fuse with her bike. Yeah, look at this. She turns into a bike human sword person. That's pretty cool, I like that. And that is also Flash of the Rider's Blade for those playing along at home. Again, still our classic Japanese borders here. She cuts the water tank, and all the water's going to fall on Hibiki, kind of trying to cool her down. Mom makes somewhat of a recovery here, which is nice. And yeah, this little part here, what was I trying to make these gentle girls do? Why did I thrust this upon them? That kind of vibe, right? But then she's going to continue with her plan anyway. I thought this was kind of a change of heart moment, but it seems like nothing of the sort. Hibiki is being operated upon, they remove all of the different rocks and that kind of thing again, and Miku learns the news of what is happening to Hibiki. We get a little bit of exposition here from Ver. We're going to use this in the next stage of our plan. So the awakened heart, it has now consumed enough relics to reach full power output, so we've kind of lost nothing from where we were. This heart and the object you've retrieved 5 years ago, have you forgotten? You, Fine, took the Senshou from the archaeologists at Mount Minakami. Mount Minakami's reminding me of something. Anyway, I'm sure you guys will remind me. This is ringing bells, I don't know why. And at this point, of course, Maria doesn't remember because, well, you're not Fine. So of course Maria doesn't remember. Handling relics is my job. Again, we're going to reveal this information later in this episode. Either way, we need the Senshou and the Niflheim Heart to activate the frontier. Whatever that may be. Whatever it is, we're convinced that it's going to stop the moon. Again, Ver's clearly evil. We're gonna make mankind dance to our mad rhapsody. You're like frenzied, my dog. Get him out of here. Like, I just don't know how we look at these characters like Mario, who is quite smart, at least emotionally so, seemingly, and they look at this and they're like, this is a good idea to support this man. I guess they don't have another choice, and if somebody they respect in Mom is still on his side, then they're just gonna do it. But alarm bells would be ringing for me, to be sure. Little reference to globalization here. I wonder if a not so subtle look at the actual thematic meaning of what Symphogear is about. Again, not all speaking the same language, that kind of vibe. In all the chaos and lack of communication in the world, we have to strive for a nice form of ethics around, care for each other and that kind of thing. Maybe I'm overanalyzing it, I don't know. Either way, Hibiki isn't at school, Miku's thinking about Hibiki. She learned all these terrible things about what's actually happening to her. Oh no. Here's the kicker. If they spread much further, she will no longer be herself. Genjiro says, you, Hibiki's best friend, are the strongest link she has to an ordinary life. Again, I would argue more than best friend, but it is what it is. Either way, yeah, we're literally putting the thematic kind of backbone of what Miku is as a character for Hibiki into the actual plot. You need to support her so she doesn't turn to the dark side, essentially. Then we're leading into our final scenes of the episode. We have Kirika and Shirabe doing some shopping, and then they're just going to go off and kind of relax for a little bit. Let off some steam while the linker drug is still doing its thing, considering they can't help while it's still active. I'll carry your bags, you don't seem to be doing as well. And this manifests later as Shirabe kind of falls over. But still clearly showing some level of care at this point for her friend. Kiriko, yeah, weird. We'll watch it next episode. Maria argues with Mum there a little bit about being able to help now after everything that's happened. She wants to take some responsibility despite what may happen to her. But Mum still says no. So all three of them were locked up in a facility as potential vessels of Fine's soul. But Maria relieved us of this burden by harboring that soul herself. It must be so scary to cease being who you are. That's ironic. As we see here, Shirabe, clearly in a bad way, going to headbutt some steel soon enough. Tries to get up, loses her balance, and bonk. I love the sound effect, it was quite funny in the moment. Here we get the reveal. You don't have to play the great Fine anymore. Mom, what are you talking about? You, Maria, and then the other names, harbor not the slightest trace of Fine's soul. You are simply the kind girl I've always known. That's nice. But Ver's looking sus in the foreground there. As we know, Fine's soul has failed to reincarnate in any of the potential vessels. So we're fine, right? There's no Fine around. Oh, but Ver knows something. He looks a little bit sus. And then, yeah, the implication here is that Kirika has some form of Fine inside her somewhere that is just awoken through this level of stress. Again, kind of like Hibiki going into berserk mode as a defense mechanism. This could be seen as a defense mechanism as well. That's cool. So yeah, I don't believe I'm misinterpreting this. I think this means that she is going to be our little Fine. Which is fun. I didn't see it coming. Sure. Yeah, and then jump into the ED. Oh yeah, cool episode. I need to get a wriggle on if I want to record another one, so we're going to jump right into episode 8 right now. Rightio, got episode 8 up here ready to go. 23 minutes and 41 seconds on this one, so let's just jump right in and see what happened to Kirika, Shirabe, Hibiki, and co. Rightio? 3, 2, 1, go. Rightio. Okay, is this just where we left off? Yeah. So I think this means what I think it means. Yeah, she's clearly treating it with some amount of gravitas. Yeah, you could have helped the entire time. But we don't trust Ver. Yeah, we don't trust that evil man. Yeah, I'm not going to act like work just didn't text me and say, hey, you're actually coming in earlier. So we're going to try to get through this one and record a little bit of analysis, but it may be a little bit shorter. Frick you, work. I want to see more Symphogear, damn it. True song. Yeah, this would have, yeah, as I've said, huge revelation for Mario, right? Multi-Miku. Yeah, Chris still reaching for this arm, right? You could think Fine, right? It's funny, right? Because so much of this imagery is like, yeah, Mari is the conflicted one, right? With the two sides. And that's kind of, yeah, like your bait and switch, I guess. Unless Mom's just lying. But then why would she generate the force field? Which is clearly not one of her powers. Okay. Let me drive the boat. What are you thinking? What's on your mind, Mario? What is happening? Why are we in like a haunted house? Is this a song starting up? I don't have time to read song lyrics. No way. Okay, yes. Oh, so then him hearing that at the end, but he seemed relieved. Receptor children. Ooh, mum. They're a bunch of orphans. Whoa. Whoa, you hit the wrong guy. You guys failed. It most certainly does. You're weird. Don't touch me. I bet he smells awful too, like cigarettes. Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand either. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. That's nice. Yeah, but what about that weird barrier? Thanks for... Excuse me? Hey, yo, pause. That's too crazy. I would like to know as well. Or did somebody else do that? What is this? Yeah. Yeah. Shout out Sfino. A new organ? Ooh, playing it off again, right? Yeah, but clearly you don't feel this way. You moron. Yeah, we care about you, idiot. Ooh, the tears, too. They play my song, too. Don't use that Ryoko dot, it's tainted. You reckon? Okay. Whatever you say. But that's not in my nature. She's very good at punching walls. I mean, it was an unknown threat. It's tough. Oh yeah, I forgot you were an idol. Right. No, you don't do that. You need to, have a support network. We've been through this, Savasa, please. No, Ogawa, chase up. Anyway, whatever. Okay. Yes, ma'am, whatever you say. I'm mad. Yeah, this is the frontier, right? Whatever the frontier is. Shuttle marker. Mirror relic. Oh, is it the one in the ship? No, it can't be the one in the ship. What is happening? Oh, that was Kanade, right? Sup, Ryoko? It's been a while. Yeah, okay, this must have been Kanade's little backstory, right? Yeah, okay, that's linking back, right? Yes. Okay. Okay, Mom, whatever you say. All right, yeah, okay. It definitely is the one in the ship, then. Is it? No, maybe I'm stupid. I don't know what's going on. I guess a mirror isn't the same as illusion. Alright, there's some underwater technology happening. Yes. Okay. Nothing. It died. He made a wave. Why didn't it work? Oh, he hates it. His life's work. We need to amplify it through... I'm a relic specialist. Yes. Oh my god, he's gritting his teeth like a madman. Oh god. This guy's insane. I've said it a number of times, but still. Yes. That's not a slight difference. Yeah, it does fly in the face of that. Maybe it is going to be a bigger issue. Yeah, now you need to move as well. The world may end soon. Okay? We're like just in like a building. What did you mean by this? Now? Yeah. How must we save the world? Oh, hello, Men in Black. These look like US boys, yeah. Negotiations? These guys don't look like negotiators. This doesn't seem like a good idea. I could be wrong, though. Oh, I love aquariums. Is Miku here? Miku. Miku, go on the aquarium date. But it's completely in your nature to keep fighting. Yeah, that's the conflict. Cute. Yay! Feels like the first time they had a conversation in ages. And the music too. I've got some shit on the mind. Dato? Like the idea of cooling her down with the drink as well. Yeah, sure, why not? Alright, what's going on, Shirabe? You're cooking. Let her cook. Oh, just some cup ramen? Okay. Weird. What's going on with you? What are you seeing? What's happening? Yeah. Maybe, yeah. Well, what happened with Ryoko was unclear. Yeah, Maria isn't. Based. Yeah. Fuck the. Okay. DS cartridge. What was on the drive? Oh, well, I can't say I didn't see this coming. Yeah, factually correct. Yes. Sup? Yeah, fuck you guys. I'm actually on the noises side. He's just getting a coffee. That's funny. Yeah, Daddy Ver just saved everybody. That's crazy. Good, fuck the US. Yay, we haven't seen this in ages. Maybe this is the first time we've seen. No, we've definitely seen her transform before. Maybe it's the first time we've seen the full sequence. Interesting shot. Yep. It's been ages since we heard you sing. Oh, the vocals are great too. Akiyama Mio, right? That's the VA. Same one as Mio, I guess I should say. That's not the name of the VA. Yeah. I didn't realize it was in the same tower. Oh no, it's a crying kid. We need to save her. Him. Hibiki loves saving crying kids. I hate the DS. Yes! Oh god, she's slaying. I'm so glad that I don't have to feel guilty about her being, like, fighting again, you know? You know what I mean? She's not going to turn into Fine. I can just enjoy it. Now, escape from above. Oh, that's very... Boo! Boo, gender norms, boo! Yeah, we should probably leave. Go Miku! What a hero! This episode's cool. Those are just like randos. Oh my god, the US are... Yeah. Hmm. For failing! We got him. That's pretty brutal. Hold on. Hope you've been training up a body, Miku. Things are bad. Maria's having some kind of crisis. Stop resisting! Oh, okay. Interesting interpretation. She's trying to keep herself in the moment. Bit of foreshadowing. I think you're already doing a great job. Well, until then. Bye. Gonna have to transform. Which is bad. It's bad for my bones. Yeah. Hope I don't burn up and die. The world's most powerful hamster. Uh... Hope Miku's okay. That's really bad. I love this frame. Oh, and the sub too. That was great. Yeah, okay, Miku's not dead, obviously, but like, could be in a bad way. If we don't have Miku conscious, it's hard for her to save Hibiki. Especially now we talked a lot about defense mechanisms. Does it activate in times of crisis, like seeing your best friend pass away, potentially die? I struggle with Maria's conflict here a little bit. I guess she's struggling with the feeling of faking carrying everything on her shoulders, which she actually was, not letting other people suffer as a result. But she doesn't know about what's happening with Kiriko. I don't know. Either way, we saw like Fine. That was cool. Also, there's the part with the relic and Kanade's past that I think we learned about before, but only through text. Rightio, time to jump into a little bit of analysis on episode 8 of Symphogear G. Yeah, just right off the bat, one of the more enjoyable episodes I've seen of Symphogear in a while. Had me on the edge of my seat, had me going this way, that way, I didn't know what was going to happen. Big action set pieces, lots of songs. Good stuff. The revelations that I thought happened at the end of the last episode were confirmed, which is nice. I'm not completely moronic, which I was questioning there for a little bit. Again, the pacing is nuts. I'm thinking about everything that happened in this episode, and I'm wondering how I'm going to shove it into like 50 minutes of recording time here, at most 50. So we'll see what happens. You may not notice when I actually upload it, I do cut a lot of stuff, so I record for longer than the analysis segment normally is. But anyway, I'm rambling. I should just jump into what I'm doing. And yeah, pause it when I see stuff I want to talk about. Hopefully, I'm able to get it all done within this period. So this time before the opening, we don't even play the full scene from before. We only play up to the point where kind of Dr. Ver just kind of smiles. It's weird, right? If what Mom says is true, why isn't he acting with great shock right now? I guess he always knew something about where Fine actually was. That's why he helped. Because I thought the whole point was to get Ver on side was you have to keep up being Fine, otherwise Ver's just going to go off and do some other shit. He's only helping because he thinks Fine's here as well. Episode 8, Holding Hands So That I Won't Hesitate. Holding hands so that I won't hesitate. I mean, that's relevant for most of Symphogear. I don't really see the relation in regards to this episode in particular. I guess holding hands right at the end, the kind of over the edge. So we start with Maria driving the ship towards the location of the frontier, and she kind of thinks back into her head to a recent combat scenario that they went through. You stood puzzled, and I saw the love that you gave fruitlessly. I corralled your love and tried to let the moon see it. Is this the same song as episode 2? I believe it is. Again, these ideas are connection with Kirika, but Shirabe is still very negative about it. That's the kind of memory that I have of that song. I'll continue to read, but I probably won't read aloud, because the more important part of the scene is what's happening with Maria. They really make sure that you know it's only a transmission that Maria can hear, because this is a difference between how the transmissions have worked in the rest of the show up till now, so they need to really make sure that you don't know that Kirika and Shirabe are hearing this, because if you did think that, it would get confusing very quickly. All we can do is accept it like dolls, and with our prison of black and white. Morality. Dolls. Yeah, lots of the... Yeah, I remember me speaking about these ideas in the past, I think. Interesting. Good and bad. Or is there maybe some area of grey? This is where Mum explains, hey, we need Dr. Ver to believe that you're still Fine, otherwise he may go off and do some cringe shit. Yeah, I've all but forgotten the smile that spurred me on, but I can still fly for now. I'm almost at my limit, but for now I'm still going to fight. Again, I would like to find some kind of resolution for Shirabe. I think that would be satisfying. And this idea of recept the children as well. Orphans gathered together as potential hosts for Fine. So, again, these three are receptor children. They don't have parents, they're orphans. And clearly look up to this mum character as the only parental figure that has ever existed in their life. That's where a lot of this love comes from, I'd imagine. And yeah, we have Shirabe in the background. I have friends that stand with me. I will sing with them. Despite all this, despite how I'm feeling right now, not great, a little bit negative. At least I'm here with people that I like and people that will support me and that kind of business. Maria makes a mistake, kills a civilian in the simulator. Can we relate this to later in the episode where she's a little bit haphazard with her combat as well? Mind on other things, maybe? I don't like how touchy and feely Ver gets here. Bad touch. Go to prison right now. Yeah, Mum said I didn't need to play Fine anymore. Is this part of Mum's little change of heart? Like a little bit. Is Fine no longer relevant for what they're trying to do? Do they have all the pieces in place and merely just need something else? Is it frankly impossible trying to accomplish this task with the power level they have now? It's all very confusing. I'm sure it'll all become clear. Shensho Jing is a very important relic related to Kanade, as we'll see in this little flashback here in a minute. Ver says, I'll be sure to take good care of your body too, to Mom, which is clearly just medical, but it sounds a whole lot worse than what he actually meant, so it was a little bit funny. Here we get Kirika thinking about what happened at the end of episode 7. What's going on? Did I do that? Or potentially somebody else that may be in my body? And we see this shadowy figure, and it's someone all too familiar. Hello, Fine. It's been a while. She doesn't look too evil right now. She looks kind of bored. Oh, no, the eyes, though. Nah, very serious. So yeah, Fine is Kirika. Whenever Kirika uses power, Fine grows. That is our conflict now. We'll need to keep an eye on it. Either way, here's the other conflict for the good team, I guess. Around Hibiki, using her power, Gungnir taking control, that kind of thing, right? Again, these ideas of different things taking control. It is both Hibiki's explosive power and the greatest threat to her life, and again, we see Hibiki trying to play it off. Yeah, we hate this out of Hibiki. Don't do this. They're your friends. You can actually act like you really feel in front of them. Don't be putting on airs. We don't need that shit. Do you not realize the seriousness of what's happening? Again, Tsubasa's blaming herself a lot for this, a lot of baggage with Kanade, lots of stuff playing out here. Again, the music here and the tears. Love the tears here. Great scene, loved it. If you keep this up, you're going to die. Again, Genjiro, good dad, I'm sure they'll find a cure in no time. I have my doubts, but at least you're reassuring, I like that. There's no harm in taking it easy. It's not in Hibiki's nature. She doesn't take it easy. Especially when she's involved in, like, her third terrorist attack this week. A sword has no need for tears, and yet, why won't they stop flowing? Is this a symbol of my failure? Is me embracing my negative emotions like this bad, right? Is me doing poorly in protecting Hibiki, and the tears that follow, a symbol of my weakness? Again, obviously bad lesson. Don't become a sword again. This was bad. This was your season 1 arc. Don't do it. Friends are important. You have to find something beyond the fighting. All these kind of themes, right? She has to focus up because she's got more interviews today, but basically, like, I would say no and cancel them and just cry for a while. But again, not in Tsubasa's nature. I'll be fine by myself, don't worry about me. No, stop, no, please. Somebody help her, please. Chris can help her. And then we get Ogawa looking forlorn. Maybe he'll help Tsubasa as well. So the frontier is clearly something underwater that needs to be activated, that will help with this whole moon situation. Using the 2 different relics, the Nephilim and the Shenshojing, to power it up. It's a mirror relic. It'll reflect a thing and probably make it more powerful. It also has the power to exorcise evil? Okay, I didn't know that. So bend optical light, that kind of thing, energy, and exorcise evil. I guess, like, there's the whole thing with vampires and mirrors, right? Is that a thing in occult stuff? Like, mirrors are like anti-occult technology? These Kanade's parents. And then little somebody here as well. Interesting. I don't really know what's going on there. Yeah, her parents get slaughtered by the noise. That's what happens to her, right? But yeah, Ryoko runs in and grabs the relic, and then that relic gets stolen again, and yeah. I see how we got to this point. Ver is initially hesitant to unleash the power right away. He thinks that this is the end game. He thinks the season's about to end like next episode, but it isn't. But either way, when it is shot, it will reveal what they're doing to the rest of the world, so clearly is all-powerful. It kind of bubbles up a little bit, then dissipates. Big whoop, Ver. Was this what we were really trying to do? Again, I like seeing this guy sad, so this is enjoyable to me. Yeah, it didn't work. They don't have enough power. He's gritting his teeth so hard you can hear them, like, grinding together. That's kind of insane. I think this is when the Disaster Squad is actually discovering from their own data that the moon is going to crash into the Earth. Now they know FIS's main motivation behind what they're doing. So the FIS had to make their move because they knew sooner or later the moon was going to do what it was going to do, so they needed to branch off from the US government, who were probably trying to save their own hides in the meantime, and actually make an attempt to save the world. That's what the girls are told anyway. I think Ver's got different plans. So you don't have to play the role of Fine out as the terrorist group, right? We can close ourselves off from that path and instead go a little more straight, and that's why she plans a meeting with the US government themselves. Is that what she's saying? I guess that makes sense. Either way, we do the really naive thing here and meet with the people that tried to kill us one time. And also, the one time that we tried to actually go in as our Spec Op agents and try to infiltrate and stop them, we all got slaughtered by noise. And then Ver killed some kids. So, you guys are definitely the bad guys by association, in their eyes. Also, I didn't realize until later in the episode that they're also in Tokyo Tower. I think it's Tokyo Tower, or at least the equivalent. So they're doing a business meeting up here while kind of Hibiki and Co are playing in the kind of more social areas, I guess. Of course, I've never been, so I don't know what it's actually like. But yeah, I'd imagine something like this. So Mum plays a really straight bat here, probably stupidly so. Told Ver in the background, so Ver knows that this is going to happen, hence why Ver does what he does later on. But yeah, of course, this isn't going to work. I didn't think that this would work. I like how we're contrasting the heat of Hibiki with the aquarium. I think that's a smart touch. This is her cooldown period. She's surrounded by water. I'm also thinking of the scene where Miku puts the soft drink on her face as well, probably very cold, keeping her cool, keeping her from using her power. That's her role in this situation, which is ironic considering the sunlight metaphor. Yeah, that's the whole thing about Symphogear, right? If you keep fighting, you'll eventually die, right? At some point, I lost track of that and started to believe that it didn't apply to me. Even if I can't fight, there's still people around me that need my help. How am I going to reconcile that? Again, Hibiki's themes going forward in this season. Hibiki lets out an almighty yell and says, "Ah!" as Miku puts the drink on her face. Again, snapping her out of her little stupor there, and again, they try to have their fun with the rest of their little trip. I mean, at this point, it's not even subtext. It's been so long since we went on a date. They're dating, clearly. We get Miku thinking back to what Genjiro said. Clearly, this is her role, and she's internalizing that, leading to the climactic scene of this episode. Here we have Shirabe cooking. She's cooking that cup ramen. I like the little frilly apron on, too. I think it's cute. And we leave Kiriko to reconcile her own demons going on right now. Reincarnation. Is the me that exists right now in this moment going to disappear and be replaced by Fine? And if that's the case, what the hell is Maria doing? Great question. I didn't even think of that. You would know, right? Now that Fine's in you, what's Maria been doing this whole time? Again, we know, but I wonder how it's going to manifest when Kiriko and Shirabe find out. So we flash back to where Maria and Mama, they hand him the DS cartridge, probably got Pokemon Heart Gold on there. They feed the US government the technology that they were going to use, kind of to stop the moon. But now, because they've presented themselves as a terrorist organization, we need to wrap up the loose end. Of course, this was going to happen. Damn, the US aren't really portrayed in a good light in this show at all, are they? It's kind of funny. They spent too long monologuing and some noise show up. Right now you see them kind of grayed over. There's no Symphogear presence, they can't be touched. And Ver's like, why does everyone have to be so reckless? He saved the day, in a way, before he just let them go too wild and start killing everybody. That was bad. But he saved them, that was good. He did one good thing, even if immediately after that he does like several bad things. But, I don't know. It's a 0.4, that's good. We get to see Maria fight for the first time in ages. Her transformation sequence is awesome, it's sleek, it's sexy, it's very Mario. Love the cape as a design element on her costume as well. Yeah, it's a great time. Yeah, this is just cool. Like, look at this, it's cool, obviously. And then she sings here. I don't know if this is similar to her old song, I have forgotten, but I will read the lyrics regardless. The faith in my heart is like an undying fire. No one can put it out, an immortal flame. This is ringing bells, actually. Clearly very passionate, talking about fire, flame. Again, relations to Hibiki, maybe? Even if it burns my body to ashes, I don't mind dying for the way I believe in. Again, very Hibiki, isn't it? Like a more forthright Hibiki. That isn't as self-preserving. Either way, it's revealed that, hey, they're all in the same building, the Noise are attacking civilians near Hibiki and Miku. Again, flame, light, lighting the darkness of the night with a song. Very positive feeling, right? Very noble character. I think, again, it's Mio's VA, right? I can kind of hear it in the voice. And if we're comparing it directly to Mio from K-On!, it's also a character that is outwardly very cool looking, but is internally a little bit more nervous and not as trusting in herself and all these other things, right? Outwardly projecting confidence, inwardly meek. She likes playing these characters, I think. The instrumentation in this song's pretty cool too. I like how it flows. It definitely matches the tone of the scene. Very dramatic, very high stakes, very tense. She crushes the DS cart. Kind of Miku and Hibiki are going to run around and try to get out of that as well without Hibiki doing her thing. And yeah, this is just cool. She's like a hero. She's got someone over the shoulder, like slicing away at the enemies as well. She's just cool.
I need no tears, for my blade is peerless. I finally have the courage I need, can finally stand with pride. But later on, she says, "Don't panic," and it's a call to herself, right? So again, outwardly displaying confidence, pride, all these other things, internally still very conflicted. Again, you're out of the good books already. I don't know why you're such a psycho. You just are, and I don't like it. For whose sake is the echo of my voice? For whose sake is my song? I don't know. Only you can think of that, right? Surely it's for other people. Surely it's for somebody like Mum who you're saving right now. I decided I wouldn't be robbed of anything anymore. Destiny will fall before the miracle of my love. I'm not going to let them take from me. I'm going to be my own person and fight for what I believe in. The build up of this scene is incredible, by the way. I just love how it's just like I love towers. I don't know if you guys have played New Automata, but there's a scene on a tower that just builds and builds and builds to a nice climax. Kind of reminded me of that a little bit. Again, high stakes, high pressure, in the clouds a little bit. I like it. Say we have Miku here doing some gender role stuff, like boys don't cry. Like, come on, it's not the 1950s. Get out of here. I'm sure it's just a term of endearment, trying to get him to cheer up. Hibiki's gonna get crushed, but Miku jumps and saves her. Very good, heroic stuff from Miku. I will never lose my battles. The world will sing and welcome the morrow. It's like tomorrow, the morrow. Never heard morrow before. Unless it's like a morrow bar. What you know of the future is always the same. May the world awaken tomorrow to a blissful dawn. She still wants to change the world in a way, right? Make it a more peaceful place. We're going to awake tomorrow. The moon isn't going to have crashed into everything. The world is going to be flung out of chaos and into normalcy again. Hopefully. Like, this is a great, hopeful message for this song, right? The weight of the world's on her shoulders and she's trying to take it all on. Cool. Great hero stuff. But yeah, at this point she starts to freak out a little bit. The song stops. And this is all my fault. The death of these civilians, everything here. Mum needing to go to the US military like this, right? It's because I failed to become the vessel, the thing I've been training to do my entire life. I failed. And because of that, there's consequences. And I don't like these consequences. It's causing pain to all the people around me. Again, strikingly similar to Hibiki. I kind of love it thematically. Mari's a cool character. So I wanted to talk about a meta thing, right? So with these kind of shows, you do see like new characters rotate in every season and that kind of thing. I really hope Maria sticks around. I have my doubts though. I think she may end up being a casualty in all of this, which is quite sad. But I really hope she does stick around. I think she's really cool. Yeah, she kind of lashes out here at the troops. Not that I'm, defending the troops or anything, but yeah, it's kind of, yeah, she's channeling a lot of the anger and angst that she's feeling inside outwardly now rather than the slick cape fighting style she was using before. I guess it's also that I've never really seen just Symphogear on human violence. It's kind of overwhelming. Hibiki thanks Miku for the save back there before the building starts to collapse again. And we have Hibiki hanging on for dear life. Miku needed to train that, she needed to hit the gym some more, train that upper body. Again, deep breaths here, right? Like, clearly exerting herself, clearly even maybe a bit of adrenaline kicking in after that conflict. See these people yelling for help, panicking a little bit maybe, and then don't panic. But who are you talking to? Also, yelling don't panic is not a way to say don't panic. Like, it's just gonna, fight or flight stuff. We get that flashback to the concert scene there, where she said don't panic, and again she was talking to herself. Again, revealing something we didn't know about that scene internally while she was doing it, while she was pretending to be Fina and all this other stuff. She was still very nervous. Internally, she was still struggling. Even if outwardly, us the audience and everyone else the audience that were at the concert hall that night were perceiving it as pure confidence. You dig a little deeper, she's very insecure. Again, Mum might know this, right? Know what she's really feeling. I'm liking this connection, actually. It's going to be tragic. There's some tragedy going to befall some character here, I'm sure. And yeah, the last we see of them this episode, they like zoom out the roof. So I don't know what's going to happen there. Hibiki's going to fall. Miku's still internalizing this. I have to protect Hibiki. I can't let her transform again. If I let her go, she's going to have to transform. Hibiki sees the strain that she's putting on Miku and then says, one day, later on, when I'm really in trouble, I'll need you to save me. But today's not that day. But today, let me put it all on my shoulders again. Tragic. Very tragic. The tears start to flow. Miku says, I want to protect you. Hibiki's still a little bit of a dumb smile on. Says, it's all going to be okay. I'll take the burden once more. I like this little part here, this little transformation, very quick one. Still got this, like, you know, pretty cool looking. Very smick. She hits the ground with such strength there. No wonder fucking Miku couldn't hold her up. She weighs 1,000,000 kilos. And then Miku, I'm coming for you. Burning where Miku was, that is bad. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're metagaming it. Like, Miku's obviously not dead. But it doesn't matter that I know that. It matters that Hibiki thinks she's dead, and that's going to cause some kind of spiral, I'm sure. Again, fight or flight stuff. I love this freeze frame. So dramatic, love the shading. And the growing sub there too, that's cool. It's Miku. Great. And yeah, that's where we jump into the ED. Yeah, pretty cool little episode there. One of my favorites I've seen in a while, actually. Revealing the internal struggles of both Miku and Hibiki a little bit more, which is nice. We have the kind of intrigue around Fine now, like what's going to happen with Kirika. I don't know. How's Shirabe going to respond to that? I don't know. Mum wanted to get back in with the US government, but was refused. Ver clearly still doesn't want that to happen. Clearly knew that they were going to be kind of thinged. But Ver also knows that Maria's not Fine now, but we haven't seen that manifest. He seems quietly confident about what he wants to do still. Weird, I don't know. And yeah, we need Chris to jump in and really help Tsubasa, I believe. Kind of in the same way that Tsubasa helped Chris with her school stuff, right? Helped her fit in a little bit more, and that was kind of our little mini arc there. We kind of need the opposite now. We need Chris to kind of come in and level out Tsubasa. I think that's another way we'll go there. But yeah, really enjoying my time with the show. Looking forward to Fridays every week when I record. It also simultaneously is my most busy day at work, so that never works well, but it is what it is. I'm happy I got to record. I'm happy I got the 2 episodes in, but I do need to go. So just my chill stuff quickly before. If you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below what you thought about the episode, anything I can do to improve my presentation, comment below. I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you would like me to follow you back. And the Discord, join the Discord, vote in polls, do Symphogear stuff in the Symphogear channels. I find it quite humorous. And I read all my Discord stuff, so if you really want me to, gather a piece of information, Discord's the way to do it. But yeah, either way, thank you for watching these 2 episodes with me today, and hope to see you next week for more. Right here. Catch you guys later.